Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hey, can you guys advertise in the usual thing here? Aman, I think you can do it. Yeah. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, so maybe we'll read something here now, a little bit here. Well, we'll read Bhagavad-Gita to start with. or Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita. Let's see how that goes. Oops. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Let's see. Let's read the universal form. This is chapter 11. Arjuna said, I have heard of your instruction on confidential spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled. So I'll read that again. Arjuna said, I have heard your instruction on confidential spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled. So you see, it's the confidential conclusions of the Vedas that dispel the ignorance, the illusion. See, the confidential thing. If you don't hear from a living devotee, topics about the most confidential subject matters, your illusion cannot be fully dispelled. See? So, it said the more confidential topics you're hearing about from the bona fide spiritual empowered guru, is the degree that you're set free. See, so Arjuna, or Krishna, he just kept teaching more and more confidential matters, see, and it dispels more and more illusions. Okay. So purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. This chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of Mahavishnu, and from him the material universes emanate. Krishna is not an incarnation. Krishna is not an incarnation. He is the source of all incarnations. That has been completely explained in the last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as the source of everything. See? So that's important. That's important to consider a divine being, a person that is empowered by the divine potency, to be an authority. That's the whole problem. You know, people won't listen to real authorities because they don't know their actual position. And that position can be revealed by how? By hearing from them. See? That's why hearing is taught as the best process to advance in spiritual life. Is you hear from a person who you may not even know is empowered by the spiritual potency, which is the highest thing, the greatest thing. See? But you hear from them, and increasingly, by that sound vibration, you're purified, and your illusions are dispelled, and you realize the greatness of that person that's talking to you. See? And not only that, when you hear from a bona fide spiritual master, and it dispels your illusions, it also dispels your illusions about the illusions. See, the illusion about those who are claiming to be authorities but are really not very good authorities. See? So, and that's important, because if we're not submissive to the higher truth, then how can we accept it? How can we get out of this Maya? See? Because if we're Maya is like a whole bunch of illusions, see, tricking people into believing in them, see, believing that this illusion is real, believing, like, Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam begin to dispel our illusions gradually, teaching how this world is actually false in a sense. It's temporary. It's full of miseries like this. So, and if you don't hear about these subject matters, that this world is just a temporary thing, it's not permanent. A lot of people think it's permanent. A lot of people think, well, I mean, this is life. Life is about just being a natural person, eating, sleeping, mating, having a nice big family, just spending my whole life doing that. See, that's one of the illusions that need to be dispelled. See, so anyway, the Vaishnava books and also the Vaishnava preceptor, the real ones, dispel our illusion. Yeah. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as the source of everything. See? So with that kind of faith, you see there. Now, if you understand the glories of a special person, then you'll want to be close to them, right? Why wouldn't you? Everybody wants to be close to special people. Look at how many people, people think that persons like Michael Jackson, pop stars are special people. Well, they're special amongst the non-liberated souls. See? But that specialness is just temporary. It's just temporary. See? But what's really special is a devotee. See, a devotee who is actually a liberated soul. Because by their association, our illusions get dispelled. By their association, the knots causing us to take endless births and deaths in this world is ended. Now, isn't that pretty special? Now, who wouldn't want to be around a person like that? Everybody that's on the spiritual path would say, obviously, of course I would. See? But the whole problem is they can't recognize somebody who could end the cycle of birth and death by their empowered preaching. They can't recognize that, therefore they can't take advantage. But whoever does, get set free, and then they become a witness to help those others who can't see. They cannot see it, and then they end up taking the association, are set free also. Isn't that the system that Lord Chaitanya used? Isn't that the system that Jesus Christ used? At first, people at the end turned against him. Okay? But those who didn't became witnesses.